Greetings of the day, beta. Today we will continue our lecture with flower. Okay. So flower is a very important part of plant because it helps in reproduction. Flower sometimes is known as the complete shoot. It is said that flower is a modified shoot. The way in case of plants, leaves are there. In case of flower, different floral holes are there. Okay. That is the reason why flowers are known as modified shoot. In your textbook, first there is mention of inflorescence, then flower. But we will not do it reversely. We will first study about flower and then go for inflorescence. Okay. So let's our journey begin. So this is the diagram of a flower. Now flower is having floral holes. What are these floral holes? Floral holes are four major parts of flower. If you look into the diagram of flower, it is separated and shown to you over here. The green part, which is holding the other parts and surrounding it to give it an appearance of a bouquet, is known as calyx. These are corolla. Corolla are also known as petals, and then is sepal. Sepal means these are the parts of calyx which are called sepals. So sepals are part of calyx, petals are part of corolla. Now what are these things? These are called androecium. Androecium is something which is responsible for production of male gamete. So here we can say that collection of male gamete producer, that is stamens, are altogether forming the androecium. And what is gynoecium? Pistil or carpel is forming the gynoecium. So you must have heard about these terminologies, that sepal, petal, stamen, pistil or carpel. Then why these new terminologies are required? It is required, beta, because in a flower only one sepal is not there. There are many sepals. So collection of sepal is known as calyx. Collection of petal is known as corolla. For stamen, if it is more than one, we call androecium and gynoecium. Is this part clear to everyone? Now let's have a look how we are arranged in a flower. Okay, if you attentively look into this flower, you can see one more part is there which is generally hidden by the sepals. Actually what happens is, sepal is responsible for covering this part like this. Sepals are generally present like this, so they are covering the part. This is a receptacle or a base on which all floral holes of flowers are arranged. This receptacle is known as thalamus. Okay. The stalk of leaf is known as petiole. The stalk of flower is known as pedicel. Remember, when leaf doesn't have stalk, what type of leaf we call them? Beta? Yesterday we studied, no? One is pedicellate leaf, petiolated leaf, other is what type of leaf, beta? If leaf do not have petiole, what type of leaf it is called?
Sessile.
Sessile. So similarly, if there is a stalk which is known as pedicel, we will call that stalk as pedicel, and the flower in which stalk is present, we call it pedicellate flower. Okay. If it is absent and flower is directly in touch with the stem, we call it sessile flower. Okay. So if we start, pedicel is not included as a part of flower, but it is the part which is joining flower with the stem. In flower, there is a thalamus or receptacle. Then there will be calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. You can see this is the calyx. Generally, thalamus is not visible because it is folded by the calyx. Corolla is there. Now I wish to elaborate much on androecium and gynoecium. In case of androecium, if you have a close look into androecium, you will be able to see these two parts which I am highlighting. These two parts are known as anther. Okay. Anther is a pouch-like structure inside which there is presence of pollen mother cell which produce the pollen grain. Pollen grain is the male gametophyte which produce the gametes inside. Okay. Again, I am repeating many a times this mistake is conducted by people that pollen grain is the gamete. It is not gamete. Pollen grain is the male gametophyte. Now, how to attach this male gametophyte to the flower? It is done by this stick-like structure which is known as filament. So, androecium is made up of two things. One is anther, other is filament. Okay. Now let us talk about the gynoecium. Gynoecium is having this part at the tip, which is known as stigma. Why it is known as stigma and what is the significance of stigma? The pollen grains released by the anther first get deposited on the part of female reproductive system which is known as stigma. Below stigma, there is a slender stalk which is known as style, and this part is known as ovary. Okay. So, once the male gametes which is present inside the pollen grain is deposited on stigma, they need to travel this whole path from stigma to the ovary. Inside ovary there is ovule. Inside ovule there is the female gamete. So you need to remember a few things. First of all, if I am talking about androecium, it has anther, inside anther there will be pollen, which is the male gametophyte, and inside pollen there is male gamete. Okay. Now same thing I will write for female reproductive part, that is gynoecium. In case of gynoecium, inside gynoecium there is ovary. Inside ovary there is ovule. inside ovule there is the female gamete. You will know there is further detailing, like inside ovule there is embryo sac, but if you are remembering this much, it is all right. Generally, this ovary is modified into fruit after fertilization, and the ovary is modified into seed. So this is how the reproductive parts of flowers are arranged. I guess no one should have any doubt in this. One thing I wish to mention, if all these floral holes, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium is present in a flower, we call that flower as complete flower. If any of these floral holes are absent, we call that flower as incomplete flower. We cannot call that flower as complete. Okay. Now, another thing I wish to mention, which is very important, flower can be unisexual as well as bisexual. You need to understand, in a plant can be monoecious or dioecious. Have you ever heard about this word monoecious, dioecious, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
monoecious plant is bisexual, means in the same plant there is presence of male and female reproductive structure. Now, in a flower, similar way, both androecium and gynoecium can be present. That flower is known as bisexual flower. If either androecium or gynoecium is present, we call that type of flower as unisexual, dioecious flower or unisexual. Okay. Dioecious term is generally not used for flower, it is used for plants better. Okay, so always remember a monoecious plant can have unisexual flower. इन दोनों का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Why? In the flower monoecious plant, both the male and female flowers are present. Doesn't mean that in the same flower, male and female reproductive part should be present. It may be possible that some flowers are male flowers, some flowers are female flowers. But as they are present in a single plant, we call that plant as monoecious plant. Understood? Yes, Ayushi.
मैम आपने जो पोलन ग्रेन्स का बोला तो आपने ऐसा कहा ना कि पोलन ग्रेन्स आर गैमेटोफाइट.
Male gametophyte, yes.
हाँ, तो मैम फिर वही गैमेटोफाइट फ्लावर के ऊपर, मतलब वो स्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर डिपॉजिट होंगे और उसमें से फिर मेल गैमेट रिलीज होंगे, ऐसा ना?
हाँ.
ओके मैम.
ये थोड़ा मैं हर बार पढ़ाते वक्त एवरी टाइम आई रिपीट दिस वर्ड कि मेल गैमेटोफाइट है, मेल गैमेटोफाइट है. यू नो व्हाई? Because when we studied about gametophyte and sporophyte in lower plants like fern or moss, हमें एक प्लांट दिखता है कि चलो नहीं एक देखने वाला प्लांट है. But if I tell you कि यार pollen is a male gametophyte, it is very difficult to imagine because the thing that comes in our mind, okay, इतना छोटा है, from male part going to female part, that means it must be the gamete. But you should know that it is not gamete, it is the gametophyte. That's why I am repeating these words once again and again. So we completed this part. Now let me tell you, apart from monoecious and dioecious plant, there can be a polygamous plant. So polygamous plant is what? If in a single plant there is presence of unisexual flower, bisexual flower and neuter flower. What are these neuter flower? If in any flower calyx and corolla is present but androecium and gynoecium is missing, we call such flowers as neuter flowers. So polygamous plants are plants in case of which unisexual bisexual flowers are there, but neutral flowers are there. For example, mango. आपने कभी देखा है मैंगो का फ्लावर? नहीं देखा होगा किसी ने. Have you ever tried?
Ma'am, can you repeat the definition of neutral flowers?
Polygamous plants are plants which have unisexual, bisexual, and neutral flower, that is, flower without any sex organs present. Have you ever seen the flower of mango?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No.
Try and search in the internet and see. Why I am telling you to try and search, you will remember. That's why. Okay. So monocarpic plant means plants which can produce fruit and flower only once in lifetime. For example, bamboo. You know, once the bamboo plants flower, they die because their purpose is served. They are meant to survive only up for one reproductive cycle. Polycarpic flowers are plants which can produce flowers many a time. For example, pear, mango, rose flower, then hibiscus flower. Cauliflower is what? So if there is any case from dormant birds, there is production of flower, that is known as cauliflower. Okay. Now we will talk about symmetry of the flower. The way in case of animal kingdom, we have radial and bilateral. In case of flower, morphological symmetry is talked about. So three types of symmetry is observed. This type of flowers are known as asymmetric flower. Why? You cut it via any plane, they can never be divided into equal half. For example, canna. कैना के फ्लावर देखिए आपने काफी बार डेकोरेशन के लिए यूज किया जाता है बेटा. I wish to show you. I wish to show you the flowers of canna. Give me 1 minute. Generally, reddish orange color is visible. This is the flower of canna. They cannot be actually divided into equal planes. Any point you take. Okay. So that is why they are called asymmetrical. Now, apart from canna, there are other types of flowers which are known as actinomorphic and zygomorphic. Zygomorphic flowers can be divided into two equal halves only if they cut through a specific plane. If you are cutting them like this along with this specific plane, then only you can get two equal half. In case of actinomorphic flower, you can cut it along any plane to get equal flower. So you can compare actinomorphic with the radial symmetry and zygomorphic with the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral. Never use them as a substitute word. They are used for different contexts. That's why ये मत लिखना कि radial symmetry वाला flower, you will get 0 marks. But you can compare for your for the purpose of remembering. Yes, बोलो बेटा. Ayushi, want to say something?
No, ma'am.
So now, how the flowers and the leaves are inserted as compared with each other. I wish to share the diagram directly because in most of the cases, diagrams speak more than the words, especially in subject like biology. So three situations are there. It is always described in terms of thalamus and the ovary and other floral groups. Let us start with the hypogynous flower. In case of hypogynous flower, the thalamus is at the bottom part. This is the thalamus and this part is the ovary. So you can see simply the thalamus part is at the bottom and ovary is situated above that. So if situation is like this, we call it hypogynous flower. In case of perigynous flower, the situation is thalamus is growing up. You can see this part to this part, it is thalamus. And ovary is actually located inside thalamus. So this type of thing is known as perigynous. That means thalamus and the ovary will locate side by side. Okay. You can see in case of hypogynous, this is thalamus, this is ovary. So simply you can use it, this code to remember hypogynous. I remember it as hot. That in hypogynous, ovary is above the thalamus. Okay. और इसको हम लिखते हैं ऐसे POT, pot. Why? Because in perigynous flower, ovary and thalamus actually go side by side. Okay. Or in case of epigynous, thalamus will be at the top, then the ovary, and finally the epigynous flower. So you can remember it as two. Understood? This will help you to remember. You will never forget. Hot pot and two. I guess the code is understood by all of you, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will move ahead. We will talk about bracts. What are bracts? If you can remember, in case of leaf, at the base of leaf, sometimes leaf-like structures were found. Can anyone tell me what are they called? Class?
Leaflet?
No. Leaflet is present in compound leaf. I am talking about the thing where I told you that if this is the leaf lamina and petiole at the base of leaf, small green parts are there. What are these green parts called?
Spitule?
Spitule. Very good. So the way in case of leaf you have stipule, in case of flower sometimes there are specialized leaves present at the axis of flower, which is known as bract. So if bract is present, such type of flowers are known as bracted flower. Okay. Now, if there is a hold of bract which is surrounding the peduncle or which is surrounding the structure in which flowers are arranged, we call that type of bract as involucre. What is involute cell? The group of bracteole. So bract is a complete structure which may have more than one bracteole. जैसे कैलिक्स में सेपल्स होता है, वैसे ब्रैक्ट में क्या होता है? ब्रैक्टीओल. ओके, व्हाट इज पैच? If in any case the large bract is covering the whole inflorescence. Have you ever seen bhutta maize?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Bhutta mein pata hai, if you look into bhutta, they need to peel off some covering and inside which seeds are present.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that those leafy coverings are nothing but bract. Same is available in case of banana. I don't know. In Bengal, we cook the banana flower, which is called mocha. The bract of banana is red in color, and you have to remove it. Then only you will be able to see the small bananas or small flowers inside that. Okay. So this type of structure is called spathe when the bract is too big. Petaloid bract. In case of bougainvillea, yesterday, if you can remember, we observed bougainvillea. Frankly speaking, we were talking about thorns and we were talking about bougainvillea. Chalo, let me show you what is bougainvillea. Is the Google screen available, beta? You can see it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me share. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will be astonished to know कि जिंदगी भर हम ऐसे सोचते रहे कि this must be the petals of the flower, isn't it? Actual flower is this one. My pointer is visible, extreme right hand side, white color pointer. So this is the flower. This part which we think is a petal is not a petal, it is a bract. So if in any case bract looks like a petal, if in any case the bract is looking like a petal, we will call that specialized bract as petaloid bract, which is present in case of bougainvillea. We just now observed. Okay, now blooms. In case of wheat or grass, there are scaly bracts. You must have seen, again I'll get back to the Google only. I wish to show you. Actually, this chapter can be taught best if we are sitting in a garden and I'm showing you each and every flower. So online is not giving me this opportunity, but we will not stop. So we will use Google Baba. So wheat, panicle. So can you see these grass-like structures present in case of wheat? These are nothing but bracts, and we call it as a bract. Each of them are responsible for specialized function of protection. So they are present in case of wheat and gourds. So we will now look into detail about the parts of flower. So we already know that the outermost floral hole is known as calyx. If each part of the calyx is separate, we call it Polysepalous. If it is not, we call it Gamosepalous. So what is it? Let us understand. Consider there is a flower where each of the sepals are separate like this. We call them polysepalous. Very easy to remember. Why? Poly means more, sepalous because it is observed as a more sepals. Now, in case of Gamosepalous, what is the story? It is observed in case of China rose. If you closely look into China rose flower, you can see that all the sepals are combined to give you a tube-like structure at the base. China rose is a flower which is easily available in our neighborhood. I suggest if you want to know about the parts of flower, you can go for a dissection of China rose flower and you can look into the parts. Okay. So this is what is called Gamosepals. Now we will talk about corolla. Corolla, each member is called petal. If petals are free, it is called polypetalous. If petals are fused, that is called Gamopetalous. Can you people give me any name of flower where it is polypetalous or Gamopetalous you observe? Class? Any case where you observe?
मैम
Yes, beta.
मैम हाइबिस्कस में पॉलीपेटलस होता है.
It is polypetalous. It is actually
Ma'am, rose also
it is
polypetalous.
actually fused at the base, but it's not like fused at the top. Okay, but there are flowers which are Gamopetalous. Datura का flower देखा है किसी ने? Datura metal. धतूरे का जो flower होता है,
Yes, ma'am.
that is Gamopetalous. There are yellow flowers. So many are there. I said that once you go out and look into different types of flower, these are various easy parts which you can understand. Okay. Now these flowers patterns can be polypetalous flowers, can be of various types depending on their how they look. Cruciform polypetalous flowers are flowers where 4 petals are present, so they will look like this, and we call them cruciform. Next is caryophyllaceous. This will look as if they are claw of an animal. And rosaceous, they have more than 5 petals and they don't have claws-like structure like in case of rose. They have more than 5 petals, but how they are arranged? They are arranged together in the form of a bunch. You cannot see any cross or any claw-like structure present over there. Now let us talk about Gamopetalous. If they are arranged in a bell, we call them campanulate. If they are arranged in the form of a funnel, it is datura. And if they are in the form of a tube, we call them tubular. Okay. So similarly, zygomorphic flowers can be also there. I wish to talk about papilionaceous flower. In this case, I wish to share the diagram over here. In case of zygomorphic asymmetric flower, this flower is visible in case of pea plant. Have you ever seen pea flowers? I don't think anyone must have saw it. Anyone? Any idea? Pea plant का flower कैसे होता है?
No ma'am.
I will give me 1 minute only. I will show you how they look. So this is the structure. You can see this upper flower petal is big. This upper petal is a big one. Can you see my marking?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Like a flag or a fan. Here two small petals are there. So petals are not at all equal in size, and this type of flowers are, that's why called zygomorphic flower. So this type of flowers are known as papilionaceous flower. Okay, so we will look further. Now we will talk about the part which is called aestivation. See, I must say here, aestivation is the mode of arrangement of sepals and petals in floral bud. Means how they are arranged. In this case also we will directly go to the image. This is how they actually look, and this is how they look if you take cross section. So can you identify the difference between A and B?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम वो अंदर से थोड़े ट्विस्टेड है.
Twisted में एक part अंदर रहता है and one part is out, and it is applicable to all. Okay. What is the speciality of imbricate? How it is different than twisted?
मैम उसमें ऑल्टरनेट पार्ट्स है कि जो इनर है और आउटर है, और उसमें हर एक लीफ में एक पार्ट अंदर और एक पार्ट बाहर है.
So in twisted, in case of every floral part, one is in, one is out. In imbricate, three are such, but one is totally in, one is totally out. Okay. In quinquensal, two are having one. You can see this one is totally out. This one is also totally out. This one is totally in. This one is one in, one out, and this one is totally in. So how many are there in totally in and out?
2 in and 1 which is half out and half in.
So how to remember that? Okay. In case of valvate, you can write that in case of valvate, you can write that valvate is having 5 where all are in and out. Okay. In case of twisted, it has 5 where we can find out the all are like out in case of valvate. Extremely sorry, all are out. In case of twisted, you can write I, O. In case of imbricate 5, you can remember it this way, that 3 are I, O, 1 is out and 1 is in. In case of this one, that is quincuncial, you can say that out of these 5, 1 is in out, 2 is out, 2 is in. Okay. What about vexillary? Yes, beta.
Ma'am, in quinquential 3 are in and 1 is in out na.
Sorry. That's only I said no. How come 3 are in? ये out है ना बेटा, ये भी out है, ये in है, ये in है, और एक ही in out है ना.
हाँ, okay, ma'am.
Okay. What about vexillary? In case of vexillary, one is out. Vexillary is actually having not 5. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in these 5, you can remember it this way, that one is completely out, 2 are in, out, and 2 are in. Okay. So this is the formula which if you remember, it will be easy for you to remember, or you can remember it in terms of diagram. By drawing diagram, you can remember it. But these are the arrangement of petals and sepals that is called aestivation. What is perianth? Perianth is visible in case of tuberose. Have you ever heard about flower called tuberose? In my place, if anyone is like dead and you need to devote some flower to that person, we use this flower. This is specially dedicated for that purpose. Have you ever seen this flower? It has a very good smell. इससे माला भी बनता है. छोटे छोटे फ्लावर्स को निकाल के दे. पर have you ever seen tuberose? रजनीगंधा बोलते हैं इसे. पान मसाला नहीं है, रजनीगंधा फ्लावर.
यस मैम, जिसमें से अच्छी स्मेल आती है, वो
बहुत
एकदम
अच्छी
स्वीट
smell आती है.
स्मेल.
बहुत अच्छी स्मेल आती है. So if you look into this plant, you will have a typical thing that is present that you can observe over here. In case of this plant, they don't have sepal separately and petal separately. You can see here this green part is sepal and it is white then in color. There is no separate part as petal and sepal. Okay. So this type of structures are known as perianth. So what is perianth? Perianth is a part structure where petals and sepals are fused. So if you can see in case of perianth, petals and sepals are fused. So the parts of perianth is known as sepal. जैसे calyx के part को हम बोलेंगे sepal, कोरोला के पार्ट को बोलेंगे पेटल, वैसे ही पेरियांथ के पार्ट को बोलते हैं टेपल्स. ओके. अगर टेपल ज्यादा सेपल जैसे दिखे तो उसे बोलते हैं सेपलॉइड टेपल, और अगर पेटल जैसा दिखे वी कॉल इट पेटलॉइड. वी कैन यूज दैट पॉलीटेपलस एंड गैमोटेपलस आल्सो. Meaning is same. If like in case of tuberose, it is gamotepalous. Why? Because the tepals are connected to form a tube-like structure. Now we will talk about the androecium. Okay. Androecium is made up of one or more stamens, depending on flower to flower. हर एक stamen में there is filament and anther. This part is already said by me, that it has filament and anther. Now, depending on the attachment of filament to the anther lobe, we can talk about it. Consider if anther is like this and the filament is attached like this, we call it adnate. Sorry, in case of adnate, it will be like this. This is adnate. I draw the basifix It is like this. That means at the ventral part of the anther you have the filament, and there is another thing called dorsifix. Here it is attached to the center. If filament is attached to the back of anther at a single point, and in a way that anther can swing freely, it can be like a seesaw. It is attached like this, so it can go up and down. This part can go up and down. Such type of anther is known as versatile anther. Okay, so cohesion of stamen. Now, I wish to talk about these two terminologies, which is known as cohesion and adhesion. Co means what? हम बोलते हैं ना colleague, co-workers, co-students. What do we mean?
Yes,
by
ma'am.
co से हम किनको बोलते हैं?
मैम जो साथ में एक
Similar, isn't it? People who are similar. So cohesion of stamen means if stamen is getting attached to other stamen, we call it cohesion of stamen. But if stamen is attached to petal, we call it adhesion of stamen. So the attachment of stamen by a filament, we can divide them as monodelphous, diadelphous, and polydelphous. Let us talk about these types. I will draw a diagram and tell. If you look into the China rose, you can see that there is a single tube-like structure upon which the anthers are attached. Have you ever seen such structure at the part of China rose? China rose flower में से वो निकलता है बेटा.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me show you. Is the screen visible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
if you can see this part, I am referring yellow part. Here the
Yes,
part. So this part. These are all anthers, and they are actually converted into a single bunch. That's why single bunch. Adelphi means attraction or attachment. Single bunch, that's why we call them monoadelphous. That is monoadelphous. Okay. Next is diadelphous. In this case, filaments are united into two bundles. So I wish to show you gram flower. So I wish to share with you the image of gram flower, or we can take pea flower. In pea, it will be easy for you to understand. If you take a cross section of pea flower, you will be able to see. This is the image I was referring. If you will be taking a cross section, you can see that there is one bunch where many anthers are together. 9 anthers are together in a bunch, and one single anther is there which is separated from the others. So it is present in 2 bunches. That's why we call it diadelphy. And polyadelphous means this is the case where more than one or more than 2, rather to say, bunches are present. Now, synandrous or syngenesious is the term used when anther as well as filament, all of them are actually united together. So filament is also united and anther is also united. Syngenesious are the cases where anthers are united, not the filament. Okay. Now we will talk about adhesion of semen. I told you cohesion means attachment with the anthers. Adhesion means attachment of stamens with the other floral part. If it is attached to petal, we call epipetalous. If it is attached to tepals, we call epiphyllous. If it is attached to gynoecium, we call it gynandrous. Okay. So that is about androecium. Now we will talk about the gynoecium. If you look into the structure of gynoecium, you can see the upper part stigma, then style, and then you see the solen basal part which is known as ovary. Now inside ovary there are chambers where ovules are there. These green dots are ovules, and each ovule is attached with the ovary wall via a thin structure which is called placenta. Have you ever heard about the word placenta in your life? Ayushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Placenta क्या होता है?
Ma'am, it is a cord-like structure which provide nourishment to embryo.
In case of human, isn't it? It is same in case of plant. Ovule का ovary में attach होना is via placenta. Okay. So if more than one carpel is present, I told you that is as in case of androecium, you have stamen. In case of gynoecium, you can have pistil or carpel. So if more than one carpel is present and they are free, we call them apocarpus. And if carpels are fused, we call them syncarpus. Okay. So we will move ahead. We will talk about placentation. See, arrangement of ovule in the ovary is different in different plants. You can see these are the ovules. This type of placentation is called marginal. जहाँ एक single line margin में there is ovule attached via placenta. Okay. Axial placentation is the one where at the center part the placenta is attached. Parietal placentation means ovary wall के साथ it is attached. Free central. If in case of axial placentation these walls are removed, we call it free central. And basal means in single ovary there is single ovule and which is connected via placenta. Such thing is known as basal placentation. Have a close look into the image of placentation and tell me if you understood this. Class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I know too many things, but you will have this video. You can revise time to time. So with this, we are done with the flower part. Now I wish to show you a few images of flower part or floral holes. And finally, we can have the video. But one more thing I wish to share, beta, one very valid part of flower is missed. That is called inflorescence. I mentioned earlier also in your textbook, inflorescence is the part which is actually showed at the first part as a first part and then the floral part. But we will discuss with the next part, that is fruit. We will discuss the inflorescence, because inflorescence means arrangement of flower. Uh, the way leaves can be arranged on the stem in different manner. Similar way, flowers can be arranged on the stem in different manner. Okay. So I wish to take you to the flowers. So these are different types of inflorescence. We are going to discuss about them in our next lecture, that is tomorrow. These are parts of flowers. These are separate parts. What are these? What we learned these are called what? As different types of. We used a terminology for this. Can anyone remember?
Estivation.
Very good.
Estivation.
So this is the cross section of ovary. If you can take a cross section of ovary, you can see the ovules are arranged. And if you take a cross section of anther, you can see that there are pollen sacs. These are called pollen sacs, inside which the pollen are produced. What is this called? What are these type? It is described in what, beta?
Ma'am, different stages of development.
Stages nahi beta. These are called placentation. It is showing the arrangement of ovule inside ovary. This is called arrangement of ovule inside ovary. Okay. And this is about actinomorphic, zygomorphic, and asymmetric flower. So in our next lecture, we will talk about the fruit. Today we will conclude our lecture with the video. Every day we see the video, and it's like a series where we see the part we learn every day, and then we do not proceed, we stop, and then we will go for the next part in our next lecture. So in our previous lectures, we completed about the parts like root, stem, and leaf. Today we will continue from leaf. It's about the very important part which is known as flower. Give me 1 minute, I am going to share the screen. I guess the screen is visible, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So let's proceed.
Apart from carrying out the chief function of photosynthesis,
1 minute.
contributes to the process of reproduction. Spines for protection. Leaves, therefore, are an important part of a plant. Apart from carrying out the chief function of photosynthesis, it stores food and provides protection and support in many plants. A flower is the most beautiful and attractive part of a plant that contributes to the process of reproduction. Typically, a flower has 4 main whorls: calyx, corolla, andrecium, and gynoecium. These whorls are arranged on the swollen end of a stalk called the thalamus or the receptacle. The outermost whorl is the calyx, consisting of sepals. The next inner whorl is the corolla, consisting of petals. Both calyx and corolla are accessory whorls or non-essential whorls of a flower. While the calyx protects the flower in its bud stage, the corolla helps to attract insects and birds for the purpose of pollination. In some plants, such as the lily, both the calyx and the corolla are fused to form the perianth. The whorl inner to the corolla is the andrecium, consisting of stamens, which are the male reproductive organs. The innermost whorl is the gynoecium, consisting of 1 or more carpels, which are the female reproductive organs. Both the andrecium, gynoecium are the reproductive organs of a flower. They are also called the essential whorls of a flower. Flowers can be either bisexual or unisexual. A bisexual flower has both andrecium and gynoecium, while a unisexual flower has either andrecium or gynoecium. Flowers can also be either asymmetrical or symmetrical based on the arrangement of floral parts around the thalamus. An asymmetrical flower cannot be divided into 2 similar halves by any vertical plane that passes through its center, while a symmetrical flower can be divided into similar halves. Symmetrical flowers can be subdivided into 2 types: actinomorphic and zygomorphic. An actinomorphic flower can be divided into similar halves in any radial plane that passes through its center, while a zygomorphic flower can be divided into 2 similar halves only by a single vertical plane that passes through its axis. Flowers are also classified as trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous based on the number of flowering parts like sepals, petals, and stamens. Trimerous flowers have flowering parts in sets of 3, while tetramerous flowers have them in sets of 4 and pentamerous flowers in sets of 5. Some flowers have reduced leaves at the base of the thalamus known as bracts and are commonly called bracteates. These bracts are absent in some flowers known as ebracteates. Based on the position of the gynoecium with respect to the calyx, corolla, and androecium on the thalamus. Flowers are described as hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. When the gynecium is at the highest position on the thalamus with respect to the calyx, corolla, and the androecium, the flower is said to be a hypogynous flower. Such flowers are said to have a superior ovary. Common examples are brinjal and mustard. When the gynecium is at the center of the thalamus and all the other parts are on its rim, the flower is called a perigynous flower. The ovary in these flowers is said to be half inferior. Rose and peach are typical examples of perigynous flowers. However, in some flowers, the ovary is completely enclosed within the thalamus and is fused within it, while all the other parts appear above the ovary. Such flowers are called epigynous, and their ovary is said to be inferior. Sunflower and guava are epigynous flowers. The arrangement of flowers on the floral axis is called inflorescence. Depending on whether the apex of the floral axis is converted into a flower or continues to grow, two major types of inflorescences are defined: racemose and cymose.
So we will see the inflorescence part in our next lecture. So that's all for today. Any doubts or any part that you want to ask? Class?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then that's all from my side today. Bye to all of you.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye, beta.